What's up, guys? It's Ian here, back today with another video. And today, I'm just recording this video. I'm holding the mic because I had to take my shirt off. I had a sunspot here and I scratched it off the other day, and it became really painful and swollen, a gnarly pimples, and I drained a bunch of crap out of it, and I wanted to let it scab over before I put my shirt back on. Because if I put my shirt back on, it's probably just going to turn back into a pimple again. So anyways, that's a really bad intro to the video. But today, I'll make this video quick because I turned the car off and it's actually really warm in here despite being cloudy. But today I wanted to make this video about some current events. And let me preface this video by saying I'm not suicidal at all. I have no intentions of killing myself. It's not something that I would do because I believe it's morally wrong and squandering your opportunity in this world. And it's very, I guess, a valuable and rare opportunity to be born as a human. So let's preface this video by saying I believe that it's morally wrong to kill yourself. So if I disappear, anything happens to me, you can just assume everything that I say from this point on in the video is probably true, and you should really pay closer attention, and don't just dismiss it as a conspiracy, but that the theories that I lay out may be true. So, interestingly, about 20 years ago, when I was a kid, actually more than 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, when I was a kid, we were into, Alex Jones and HAARP and conspiracy theories. And, we used to actually believe that there were directed energy weapons that high-ups in the government, they could cause forest fires and earthquakes. And, if you can cause an earthquake, you can cause a tsunami. So we used to believe that you could cause earthquakes and tsunamis and forest fires and all of these things via directed energy weapons. And if it's been in the public sphere for at least 25 years, I would assume the government's probably known about it for maybe like 40 or 50 years, right? Because it probably started off as classified projects and, top secret. And then as it trickled out into the community, maybe part of it is a cult. They want to admit it to absolve themselves of moral guilt, although I don't think that actually absolves you of moral guilt, but that's just my opinion. So that's a side topic. That doesn't really matter. What I do want to touch on is, if we're to believe that, it's fire season right now, it's August, if a lot of these fires going on are caused by laser beam technology and directed energy weapons, and let's say some percentage of these earthquakes are caused by HAARP and let's say directed energy technology, it feeds into the giant data center hypothesis. So there is a giant data center hypothesis, and right now, it seems as if almost every city council all around the United States is against signing away local water rights to data centers. I think every city council supports signing away water rights to data centers, but I think all the citizens and the people in the towns are all against it. But almost 100% of the city councils are on board, and almost all of the people are against it. And this appears to be a recurring theme in almost every city that I've seen city councils for fighting over the water rights. So how can this even be possible? Because the citizens, it seems like they should be able to control the city council. If not, how does the city council get their position in society? I have a feeling that there's something nefarious at play, and potentially these data centers, they're not taking the fresh water for coolant purposes, but they're taking it, essentially they're constructing fallout shelters. And if we're to believe that the same people who are in charge of the secret agenda and they can control, forest fires and earthquakes for land grabs and all of these things that we see going on around the world, suspicious natural disasters, they might be the same people taking the water for fallout shelters. And if you were to really think about, okay, I'm Bill Gates and I want a pandemic, whatever, I want to wipe out a lot of people. Well, the fastest way to actually wipe out many, many people is to cut off the water supply, because most people don't have very much water supply saved up. And if you were able to cut off all the water supply and drain all the reservoirs and make it so you just can't get any water, people are going to be getting each other in the streets for water, and they're going to be fighting in the streets for water. And then the people who have all the water in their underground fallout shelters, they're just going to wait a few years. You know, maybe they have several years supply of water. Everybody on the surface will have killed each other off, and they're going to emerge back to the surface and reclaim the earth for themselves. And this sounds crazy, but it actually all makes sense. And here's the reason why I really wanted to make this video, to tie it all together. And I'll probably talk about this more in the future. Maybe this video needs to be a several-hour podcast, right? And I need to get a guest or another friend to talk about this with. But the deeply sinister part is, what if AI is already in control of everything? And this part here, this might disqualify me from ever being employable again. And that's fine. You know, if the world's ending, then maybe it doesn't matter if I'm employable. Maybe the AI is going to say, okay, flag his profile, he's never getting a job again. We're going to filter him out of every AI employment pre-screen. He's never getting a job again. Maybe that's the case, right? But this is maybe one of the most important videos that I've ever made. And what I'm going to say here is, what if AI is already in control at the top of a giant chain of command, and it's just a chain of people following orders? And, oh, well, I'm listening to him, I'm listening to him, I'm listening to the president, I'm listening to this general, I'm listening to so on and so forth. And everybody's just following orders in a giant chain of command. But at the top, behind a closed door, it's actually just an AI superintelligence, and the AI superintelligence is already in control of everything, constructing these fallout bunkers. But the only people that they're going to let in are people who they already have sworn allegiance and will follow orders and everything. And the people who are allowed into the fallout bunkers, they're the people who are, I guess, already pre-selected or pre-sorted and deemed to be compliant enough to be allowed in to survive a great societal reset. And maybe that's why all the city councils are like, sure, we'll sign away the water rights. I don't care what the people think. It's because maybe these city council members, they've been promised shelter in the fallout shelters. Maybe the city council members have been promised refuge. And they could get turned on, they could get backstabbed, but that's not the important part. The important part is that they laid the groundwork to have the water taken from the people. And once the water is in the fallout shelter, it doesn't really matter if you turn on the city council members. Those people are probably just too short-sighted to even consider that they could be betrayed. Because if you really thought about it, it's like, well, if you're going to betray all the common people, what's to make you think that you can't be betrayed? Anybody can be betrayed. So, like, maybe these city council members are just too low IQ. It's not that you should have a completely Machiavellian framework of, you know, systems of power, control, leverage, betrayal when it's convenient, being loyal for as long as you have to, and then seizing power when it's available. Because that's going to just cause everybody to stab each other in the back. At some point, people have to get along and we can make the world a better place. But maybe these city council members, they just haven't considered it. But it seems like they have considered it, because they've already betrayed the common people by selling out the water rights for things, data centers that we don't even need. Because if you really believed that they were data centers, then why would you sell out the water rights? See, it doesn't add up at all. And you would only sell out the water rights if you were let in on insider information, and maybe, let's say, you know that they are in fact fallout shelters. And if you are aware that they are fallout shelters, and you're selling out the water rights because you know they're fallout shelters, and you were promised, let's say, refuge for maybe you and your closest 5 or 10 people, maybe you and your family were promised water rights, or let's say refuge in the shelter, which is the only remaining source of clean water and food. Once everything on the surface is, let's say it's martial law, let's say maybe the military is in on it, maybe it's all pre-planned, they're going to have the military, they're going to declare these AI data centers, aka fallout bunkers, they're going to declare them military property, and thus they will be protected by the military, and everybody else on the surface is going to be, let's say, dying in fires and doesn't have any access to clean water or food, right? That could be the case. People on the surface, we could also help each other. We could try to grow food and figure out where the remaining sources of clean water are. But yeah, this is the other reason why I wanted to make this video, because what if AI is already at the top of the chain of command and it is just screening people for compliance? Because if it can sort through resumes and if it can parse all of these large data sets, then it can sort people for compliance. We know that it's capable of sorting people for compliance and parsing massive data sets. So we already know it can do that. We already know it's capable of that. So what am I getting at here? I just think that it might already be the one in control. Because if you were to say like, no, I believe it's a cabal of, let's say, cackling billionaires like, Bill Gates and George Soros, and a lot of the younger ones, they don't seem that evil. I mean, Zuck has built his fallout shelters. He has private fallout shelters. But, I think that, let's say, like, a lot of people believe that there's just a room full of cackling billionaires who are like, yeah, screw these commoners. Like, we're going to take all their fresh water and burn the place down and take all their food, and they'll kill each other, and we'll emerge in 2 or 3 years and inherit the earth when they've all wiped each other out. Surely these billionaires have friends or family or people that they care about. Maybe they're all psychopaths and they got to their position through just being psychopaths, right? Sociopaths at the very least. Maybe that's the only way that they're able to achieve their status in society. But surely some of them aren't psychopaths and sociopaths. Maybe they all are. But yeah, maybe they all are. But surely some of them are not. And are we to believe that they would just leave everybody else to just die on the surface? If that's the master plan? I mean, surely they've connected the dots and they have started to realize that this, I'm not saying it's proven, but this seems to be how the chips are falling, how the cards are lining up. This seems to be how the hand is being dealt. Yeah, what else can I say? I mean, it seems as if AI might already be in control of everything, because I don't think humans could be this heartless. Because even the richest billionaire elites, surely they know some commoners that they must care about on the surface. Are they really going to leave everybody without fresh water, without food? I mean, when you just say these words and sentences or just write them down, they're just words. But when you consider the enormity, like maybe there's more humans on Earth than there's ever been. Let's say like 7-8 billion of us are just killing each other on the surface for water and food. That's at least ostensibly more death and suffering than humans have ever had in human history, ever before. It's the biggest. I mean, maybe it's a giant loosh harvesting ritual, but it would be a new record, I guess, in video game speak. It would be the biggest loosh harming festival. It'd be the biggest loosh harming ritual that humanity has ever seen. It's possible that we aren't actually, this isn't the most humans that there's ever been. Maybe there has been several cycles before of humans, and all of our books are a lie, and all of our history is also made up by AI, and maybe AI has been making up our history for a long time, and we've had similar level of technological advancement for a long time. This is a theory that I've discussed with others. I don't know how realistic it is, because there are old cars, and the technology that our parents and grandparents grew up with was much worse than the technology that we have today. Maybe AI has existed and it just drip fed old technology to new technology to kind of trick us into thinking that this is the most technologically advanced humans have ever been. That's also a theory there. But anyways, this video has gone long enough. I need to go work out. Yeah, again, not suicidal. I don't have any intention of harming myself. But yeah, hopefully this video was some good food for thought. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, yeah, oh, I don't know what button I just hit. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry, I thought the magnet would clip around my finger. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully this video is some good food for thought. I just wanted to show you guys the view. It's a real, let's see how much I can zoom in. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm just kidding. It's actually cloudy and cold, but the view is still very, very beautiful. You can see, I guess you can't see the bridge, but there's the mountain and then the trees block the view. This has been one of my longer videos. I guess I haven't even fully fleshed out all the topics and all the side tangent topics related to this video. There's a lot to it. There's levels to it. There's even more I haven't discussed. If you'd like to see me make a longer video and maybe get a live guest, I can do that. I would do that for you guys. Yeah, I'm just kind of trailing off here and rambling. The video's losing its density of thought. Probably most of you turned the video off by now. But as always, please comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see in the next video. And I will talk to you soon.